Okay, so in today's video, I'm gonna show you how the newest smartwatch model charges. So the new smartwatch model like the M89H and the CD12 Max comes with this black charger. The older smartwatch comes with this white charger. In this instance, I have the 4-pin version of the white charger. It's a bit rare your smartwatch come with a 4-pin version. Usually it's 2-pin like this one, but it's white. And they marketed that the smartwatch with the black charger is fast charging. And inside, the black charger doesn't contain anything interesting. It just 3 magnets and this circuit board. The positive wire goes through a thermal protection NTC thermistor, so when you accidentally short circuit the 2-pin, it doesn't create a short on the USB power supply. Although if you really does that, it doesn't causes any problem really. It just put the power supply into protection mode, but it's certainly better not to do that. But what does change is the magnet on the black one is way stronger. Let's test with this largest watch. We put the black charger. This watch charges upside down, by the way. The wire comes out from this side. It's not easy to get it down. With the white charger, yeah, you see a difference. The black one really is a lot stronger. But because we are gonna be experimenting today, the 4-pin version does not have the thermal protection, which we will use the white one for this reason. I will demonstrate the thermal protection here. So I have the black charger connected to my bench power supply. When I short the 2 pins, I will demonstrate it now when I short the black one. And not get pulled away by the magnets. You can see the voltage drop initially and then recover instantly. And now it only draws 200 milliamps, so it doesn't put a short circuit on the charger. The white one is connected now. If I short it, the power supply goes to protection mode and limits at the 2000 milliamp threshold, and the voltage does not recover. So that's the difference. So that's why we use this one to prevent any interference with other tests. Let's test the baseline first, which is this S12. This is the oldest model released, so it shouldn't charge. It should be the slowest, which it is, as we expect. 400 milliamps. If we increase the voltage. And now I need to explain the difference. The older model with the 8541E processor uses a linear charge regulator. That means the additional voltage from the power supply to the battery is dropped by a variable resistor. So all the energy gets dissipated at heat. So only more current on the input will go to a battery. If we increase the input, as you can see, the current doesn't move at all. If we reduce it even, only until we reduce to below the thing can drop, it reduces the charging speed. And so the fastest this watch can ever charge is about 2 watts, which is very little. It takes about 1 or 2 hours to charge this, about 2. The next is this ASR chipset. This uses a buck regulator, which means the additional voltage gets converted into gets stored in the inductor and used. So the voltage and current both is indicative. We can just look at the power. If we increase the input voltage, the power doesn't increase because the current drops. To regulate the charging speed, we can decrease it and see what's the minimum voltage it operates at the fastest charging speed. It's about 5 volts. It's already charging at the max speed. If we increase even further, the current drops to keep the same power. Okay. Now let's test the A51E, but this watch comes with the black charger, so it's marketed as a fast charge, and we can also see that when we put the watch on the charger. Here's the fast charging animation, but and we can see it does charge a bit faster. Let's set to 5.2 volts, which is the USB charging voltage. It's already at 4.5 watts, and because it's A51E, if the current doesn't increase, you need a regulator, so basically the additional voltage gets dropped at the hit, and if we increase it even more, it doesn't increase the current. So if your supply is higher than 5 volts, it already has the fastest charging speed possible, which is about 4.4 watts, which is about 2 times the oldest watch here. So it is faster, but not by much. So it's charged within about 1 hour maybe, because the battery is larger, and this one, by the way, it's so large. The battery is also larger. Now next, let's into the W527. I think it's this too, right? Yes, this too. This is the S12 W527. This is the CD12 Max, which is also W527. And let's test the S12 first, because this one doesn't market it as a fast charge. It comes with the white cable. Let's charge this. It's the opposite side. We can see it's already drawing 5 watts as the default voltage, 5 volts. Let's try to adjust it. Above 5 volts is the minimum it can charge at high speed. If we increase the voltage even more, the current reduces, as we can see, to match the power. So the most efficient you can get it is at the default voltage, and it charges at 5 watts. Let's test the CD12 Max. It comes with the black cable and have a fast charging animation. And as the default voltage, we are putting more than 5 watts already. Let's try to increase it. 6 watts. 6.8, 7. We think we are reaching a limit, 7.8 watts. Let's try even more. Not at the limit, 8 watts, even more. No, we're at the limit. The power is reducing. So 8 watts is about the maximum with the CD12 Max. It does have a higher profile in the kernel. And by the way, we can turn all the way up to 10 watts in the kernel. And so this one have the profile of 8 watts. And we need to reach it by having 5.7 volts as the input. I've seen a video online that shows You can use a USB-C PD trigger to have a higher voltage and will charge the watch at higher rates. Here's a video. It shows 7.2 watts using a PD trigger. The percentage just keeps increasing. I have already showed you. It can do more than 7 watts for real, like this. And let's see if the percentage really increases live. You can see still 8 watts. The percentage doesn't increase live. The video is most likely fake, but it shows the power really can go a bit higher if you increase the voltage, but not with every model. With some just generate additional heat. With others, it may even cause damage to them. And some other just turns the charging power even lower than the max power point, like the S12.527, which decreased to 4 point something, but it can charge at 5 volts. So the most power you can get on a smartwatch currently is with the CD12 Max at about 5.8 volts, which is about 8 watts. And the max you can get on unmodified smartwatch is this two, the the S12A and the M89H. These two all can charge at almost 5 watts, 4.5 watts at the 5 volts. And if you want even more, you can make your own cable that puts out this voltage and will charge it even faster. It's not getting super hot, it's okay. And the increase in percentage is not as crazy as you see on YouTube. This is still 55% after a while of charge. Based on the previous experiments, I have made some charger. First is this two black charger I've turned into a 4-pin charger. It's actually pretty easy to do this. The white charger and the black charger have the same internal, and the 2-pin charger also have this post here. You just need to drill the hole through to the other side and put 2 new pins inside, or you can take 2-pin charger and make it into one 4-pin charger, like I did with this one. I put the other 2 pins from this to here, and this 4-pin I take a normal white 4-pin charger and turn it into a black 4-pin charger, which is very strong. White charger, you can see. Yeah, it falls easily. The black charger is really superior. Also, I've made this one white charger with a black cable. You might think what this is for. Here I have a USB tester. Let's plug in one of the modified black charger. Charge it about 2 watts. Plug in the modified white charger with the black cable. Charge it at 10 watts. It is not recommended to use this watch with this charger, by the way, because here I have my multimeter. Let's measure outputs. Is output 6.8 volts, which is the perfect one we've discussed before. Charges everything the fastest. Here I have the W527 watch, which is what this charger is intended for. You can see it draws 6 watts input. And also when the input voltage drop, it doesn't matter. Basically inside I have put a mini boost converter inside that will convert the input from about 3.3 volts up to 6.8 volts, so W527 can charge faster. Because I'm recording with my phone, I cannot show you the power on the watch, but it's about 4.2 watts with 5.8 watts input, which means the heating is not too bad. But with this one, it takes 10 watts to charge at 4.5 watts about, which puts over 5 watts of heating, which is not great, and the heating is both in the watch and in the charger. It can cause the backplate to melt. It's not recommended to use with A541E processor. It's only for W527 or SR. SR also can use this charger safely. Let me demonstrate. It's part of. You can see it only draws about 2.5 watts, and this is all it can do, but it doesn't draw excessive current like this one. This one tries to charge the battery at fixed current as about 1 amp, and if the input voltage is higher, it doesn't regulate back, so it charges. The heating power is a lot and causes damage. You can see 2.8 watts. It's normal. You can use this safely because the cable of this charger is very thin and have a resistance, and there's the protective thermal fuse here increase the voltage drop even more, so when charging it's only outputting about 4.5 volts. This one fixes that problem, and if you have W527, it charges a lot faster. Yeah, but need to observe the temperature carefully when using this. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.